Kurt Vonnegut was born in 1922 and died in 2007. Born in Indiana, the son of an architect and a mother who was the daughter of a wealthy businessman, his family struggled financially during the Great Depression. In high school, he began writing for the student newspaper. He entered Cornell University to study biochemistry but dropped out to enlist in the Army during World War II. He died in New York due to complications from a fall. In 1944, he was captured by the Germans in the Battle of the Bulge and imprisoned in Dresden, where he survived the Allied bombing in 1945, an experience that inspired his most famous work, Slaughterhouse 5, 1969. He began his career as a journalist and later worked in public relations for General Electric. His first novel, The Piano Player, 1952, already demonstrated his critical style regarding technology and capitalism. He gained recognition with Cat's Cradle, 1963, a satire on science and religion. Slaughterhouse 5, 1969, became a classic of anti-war literature and established him as one of the great writers of the 20th century. Famous quote, "So it goes," repeated in Slaughterhouse 5 as a reflection on death. Slaughterhouse 5 blends science fiction, satire, and philosophical reflections. Criticizes war, consumerism, and the dehumanization of technology. Influenced by Mark Twain, George Orwell, and H.G. Wells. Kurt Vonnegut's semi-autobiographical novel, which blends science fiction, satire, and historical narrative to explore the horrors of war, especially the 1945 bombing of Dresden, an event the author himself witnessed as a prisoner of war. The narrative doesn't follow a linear structure, reflecting the philosophy of the protagonist, Billy Pilgrim, who becomes time desynced after being abducted by aliens called Tralfamadorians. This temporal fragmentation symbolizes post-war trauma and the impossibility of narrating the war experience coherently. The absurdity of war. Vonnegut portrays war as a chaotic and meaningless event, using irony and dark humor, e.g., the repetition, "So it goes," after each death, trivializing violence. Fate versus free will. The Tralfamadorians view time as an immutable whole, teaching that passive acceptance is the only answer to existence. A critique of human resignation and the idea of cosmic justice. Unpretentious narrative voice. Vonnegut uses a conversational and digressive tone, often interrupting the plot for metalinguistic commentary. Humor and pathos. The absurdity of the situations contrasts with the tragedy, creating a shocking effect. Intertextuality. References to the Children's Crusade, a medieval work, and the Book of Ecclesiastes reinforce the idea of cycles of violence. Dresden. Represents indiscriminate destruction and the erasure of history. The bombing was little discussed in the post-war period. So it goes, a phrase repeated 106 times, echoing the inevitability of death in an almost nihilistic vision. The Ice Horse. Appears at the beginning and end of the book, symbolizing the beauty and cruelty of human nature. Vonnegut satirizes the glorification of war. Billy is an incompetent and anti-heroic soldier. Post-war American culture, Billy's unhappy marriage and empty consumerism. The impossibility of narrating trauma. There's nothing intelligent to say about a massacre.